Hey, everybody, this is Perch. What do we got going on? Well, two mails here. I'll answer this first one quickly because this is a comic book channel, not a political channel. So we'll do that one. We'll do that one first. It says, Dear Perch, who do you think is going to win the 2024 election and why? Um, I mean, right now we've got Donald Trump and Joe Biden, and Trump is leading by a margin, a small margin in the polls. I think Joe Biden's going to win. And I say that because, well, for a variety of reasons, but I think he's going to win. And I I don't know what to say here. I mean, I don't like either of these two candidates. I truly, truly don't. Um, I Anyway, it doesn't really need to be more detailed than that. The great thing about politics, and the great thing about America, or should be, is that all of us get to have our own opinion on the candidates. That's what a democracy is. We get to think for ourselves and pick the best candidate there is. And the key aspect in all that is think for yourself. You should be thinking for yourself. And there's a lot of pressure right now to be on team A or team B. And I think regardless of whatever facts you get, you shouldn't feel any pressure to vote a certain way. You should vote with, your mind, ideally, of who you think is going to be the better person. Notice I didn't say vote with your heart, because there's danger in that. That's not, the president is not supposed to be voting with your heart. It's supposed to be voting with your mind. But anyway, enough of that. I think he's going to win. I think Trump has a lot of baggage in there, and I think I think it stacks up over time. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't think 4 more years of Biden is a good idea. I also think, good Lord, we got all these people in the country, millions and millions and millions of eligible people in the country. And, it's this, I think that America, and then I'll get off this topic because this is a comic book channel. America needs a really solid, proven, businessman or woman, whatever, who, has a track record of delivering results. It's time for somebody like that, a no nonsense, like, hey, this is what it takes to actually run an operation, get something done. Because in a lot of corporations, you have politics. You just need to have somebody who knows how to navigate this stuff. And I think getting the same old people who have a history of politics is not a good plan. I know that people say, well, Trump is that. Yeah, but Trump has been damaged by all this stuff that's going on. And Biden has been damaged for all this stuff goes on. That's the way I feel. Again, I welcome the fact that it's democracy and you may feel rabidly different, and that's okay. I want to live in that country. The second this country starts to become a place where we don't get a vote that way, where we can no longer think that way, well, then I want to live in a different country. And hey, guess what? I've got passports. I've got more than just a U.S. passport. We'll just leave it at that. And if it has to be, it has to be. So anyway, back to comics. I did a video a few weeks ago called "Why I Love Comics." It's called "Hey Kids, Effing Comics." So I want to read this mail to you, and we'll go a little bit more into that zone. It says, Perch, I post this as a response to your latest video, Hey Kids, Effing Comics, and I wanted to send this as a direct message to you as well. Thanks for all you do. I love comics because I love sequential storytelling featuring living, breathing characters that I care about. I love the smell of paper and the indelible images and dialogue that are seared in my mind. I love the writers and the artists who shaped my childhood and resulted in me getting career in an adjacent industry, children's books, some of which feature these characters. I love comic shops and the conversations that trickle through the entire store when I peruse the weekly releases and the back issues. There's no greater storytelling in my mind. And I want to get to this because too often we get to hear about the problems in comics, including on this channel. We get to talk about bad behavior of creators. We get to talk about that they're too expensive. We get to talk about distribution's all fucked up. We get to talk about any number of things. They're too woke. They're not woke enough. Captain America was always fighting Nazis. Yeah, but the Nazis were different back then than the Nazis of today. You can go on and on and on. And on some level, some of that argument and some of that discourse is fun. Some of that is what comics are. Having kind of inane arguments about random stuff that are our opinions of this medium. That is a good thing. That is part of the fun. I mean, people get heated, but the reality is when you talk about who would win between, Batman or Captain America in a fight? The answer is there is no answer. Truly, there is no answer. Could be either one. It could be anything. And any given day, anyone could win and anyone can make that argument. And really, the fun is in the argument. I want to, listen to that sentence again. The fun is in the argument. And so the conversation really here for social media and for videos and for all this stuff, for conversations with creators, with other fans, other things is, when exactly did the argument not become fun? Because when we're talking about should Spider-Man be married or not, or was Marvel stupid for erasing that? And you have, sorry, we're going to have to continue this way for a minute. The thing all glitched out, so I don't know where that ended. So I said, when you're arguing this thing about was Spider-Man's marriage good, bad, a mistake, and you're arguing about this with Nick Lowe, it is not fun. He's a prick about this argument. And Dan Slott is a prick about this argument. And if you're, but when did the argument not become fun? And some of it's the fault of the people within the comic companies, and some of it is the fault of the fans. It all got too goddamn personal for all of us. And I don't know if it's a chicken and the egg that comes first. Look, in my opinion, from my humble standpoint as both a retailer and a fan, it was the creators of the comic industry, the people who work within it, that lost their sense of humor first, in my mind. But whether that's true or not, it doesn't really matter, because we're years from that point, and now everybody's just pissed off. And it's not good for comics. None of this is good at all for anyone at this point. But comic arguments used to be fun. Look, the passion, from the letter writer and for myself and my own heart, comics are amazing and they're beautiful. And you know what's not beautiful? Fucking drama live streams are not beautiful. That's just meaningless masturbation for people who have too tiny of a dicks to do anything with that dick. Okay, how dare Perch is talking about this? Oh, fuck you! Y'all know it's true. I'm just saying what we all know to be true. It is far, far better to pick up comic books that we love and enjoy and can create from, can have imagination from, can have inspiration from. When did fan fiction turn from being something really cool where we thought up amazing new stories into some creepy AF kind of, I don't know why I said AF when I've said fuck already many times in this video. Who am I censoring here, folks? Anyway, like when did fan fiction become creepy as hell? When? Used to be kind of fun. You're telling me if you've read comics since the 80s, the 90s, that time period, you didn't think in your own head about stories of what you would do if you're writing The Punisher or Superman or these other characters? Of course you have. Congratulations. You've now created headcanon and fan fiction. That used to be fun. You used to a comic book shop and talk about these things. You used to, make connections with complete strangers around these things. They used to be a good thing. We used to argue and fight over who was a better artist than who was not. In a comic shop, I had heated arguments with people, both involved and also listening, over who was a better artist, Rob Liefeld, Todd McFarlane, or Jim Lee. And the right answer is Art Adams and Mike Mignola. But anyway, lots of people had those arguments. Many, many people. Todd McFarlane or Jim Lee. Who do you like better? And you know what? Those arguments were fun. Those were enjoyable. And every now and then, comic creators would come into my shop, do signings, and they would join in. You go to San Diego Comic-Con back in the 90s, and these arguments would take place there, and they were fun. Now, behind the scenes, definitely shit was going on. Marvel was changing the names to some of the X titles, so they didn't have to pay Rob Liefeld. And, Rob was taking work at Marvel when he committed to Image, and it pissed off the other Image founders. And there's plenty of drama that was happening behind the scenes, for sure. But a lot of people involved knew when it was to kind of put that stuff away and at least enjoy comics once in a while. And today, to the credit of the writer, and it's definitely how I feel too, I love sequential art. I love comics. That is the most important thing. I've had people say, I do these videos every now and then, like, here's what I love about a comic. And every single time somebody shows up, be like, Perch is a shill. You know what? Fuck off. I would much rather love comics. Why are you so goddamn weird that you want to hate them? Why? You have to, at some point, you have to ask yourself, why do you have such a hate boner that you don't even want comics to be good? And don't give me that horse shit of like, they attacked me so many times, I just want to see them die now. Oh, fuck off with that. Yeah, some of the creators have. And many of those creators are no longer working in comics today. How's Gabby Rivera's career going? Anyone know? I don't know. And I don't give a shit. Because she is unimportant to comics. From what I hear, apparently she's getting money on a speaking circuit. I don't know who the fuck's paying for that, but I'm not paying for it, so I could give a damn. That's not somebody who's having a good life. I feel confident in saying that. Look, at the end of the day, you're certainly welcome to hate on comics. It's okay to. You're certainly welcome to complain about comics. Sometimes that could be fun. But hopefully, throughout all of that, we move back to a place where we do like them. We do want them to exist. This is the best storytelling in the world. Right now, there are lots of people being inspired by comics. Sorry, I'm correcting myself. Manga. There are plenty of kids out there, and my daughter is one of them. My children are incredibly different. Back when I first put them on the channel, back before several of you assholes would write like weird, gross, threatening messages to my children, and I stopped doing videos with them, and some people ask every now and then, hey, why aren't your kids on the videos anymore? I'll tell you exactly why, because some of you assholes got really, really weird about it, like report you to the FBI weird about it. That's why they're not on anymore. I'm a parent, first and foremost, way before YouTube commentator. But I have two very different kids. One of them is really into Taylor Swift right now. I am thoroughly ashamed. She likes to dance. She's into gymnastics. She's into music, and she's a musician and very, very talented. I'm very, very proud of her. The other one loves to draw and is studying manga. She is consuming and reading at a ridiculous rate every single manga, volume she can get her hands on, and she's taught herself a decent amount of Japanese so she can read it natively so she could see it and get it faster. Very young age, not quite in high school yet, and she is doing this. And she draws constantly, and I'm very proud of her too. What I see are children who are inspired by things. One, inspired by manga. One, horribly misguided, inspired by Taylor Swift. And I'm kidding. I love them both. So one day I'll be dead and they'll be listening to this in a time capsule. And if I'm not careful, we'll basically send a message, I love one more than the other. And the answer is no. If you're a parent of two children, you love them both. Until one really fucks up and does something wrong, and then that one's dead to you. But that's not where I'm at. I love them both equally, truly. But the one who's inspired by manga, like this is how many of us were. You get inspired by comics because comics are goddamn amazing. And they should be. And every single day when I pick up a comic, I read the latest Jerry Duggan X-Men comic, and I'm like, God, why is this guy doing the X-Men? This is abysmal, awful content. I hope every single time I pick that thing up to go, wow, this is pretty good. I will happily apologize to Jerry Duggan for a good comic. Any day, any week. I'm not just calling him out. Anybody. Because for me, good comics is the end game. How about for you? Thanks for listening.